Home rehab equipment doesn't have to be ridiculously expensive to be effective. Today, I'm going to share 6 of my favorite inexpensive but effective home therapy tools so that you can continue on your stroke recovery journey regardless of budget. Let's get into it. Therapy tool number 1, cuff weights. If you all have watched any of my workout videos, you will have likely seen these pop up in several of them. And there's a good reason. They are a relatively inexpensive therapy tool for exercising. This is a 1-pound pair of cuff weights from the TheraBand brand that I purchased for around $15 on Amazon. And as of today's recording, that's about where they stand. But I love cuff weights for several different reasons. One of them is that cuff weights are great if you don't have a ton of grip strength or dexterity, hand control. You can just pop these on your wrist and still get a great arm workout, even if you can't hold a dumbbell. Second cool thing about these is the kind that I've got here, obviously they are a fixed weight. You can also find some that are adjustable, weight adjustable, where around the side, they will have these little pockets that you can slip these weighted bits into. But I love these. Not only can you wear them around your wrist, you can also wear them around your ankles when you're walking, when you're doing leg exercises, just to give yourself an extra added benefit and added challenge. Therapy tool number 2, the Flex Bar. So the Flex Bar is actually the brand name for a tool like this, but I got the knockoff Can Do Twist and Bend Bar, and you know what? It's gonna work just as well, and it's gonna save you a couple bucks. So don't be afraid to try some knockoff brands. They're likely gonna be just as good. And I like Flex Bars for a lot of different reasons. They're a really versatile tool that's easy to take with you. And I'm gonna show you a couple different exercises that you can actually do with this at home. So what you could end up doing to start working some of your grip strength, forearm strength, hold onto the bar and begin to bend it down, and then you can repeat. But by changing the way that your hand is on the bar, you can work different muscle groups, target some different areas, and you get more versatility that way. You can put hands on top and begin to twist the bar. Other way, twist the bar. You can even work on in-hand manipulation, which we know that dexterity and manipulating things can become difficult after a stroke. So you can work on that by rolling the Flex Bar in your hand. You can set it down on a flat surface and practice rolling it. You can even push your arms all the way out and then come back. So this one little piece of equipment can get you a lot of bang for your buck. Now these do come in different types of resistances. This particular brand offers, let's see, 6 different resistances from extra light to extra heavy. The yellow one is the extra light. It's a good starting point. This one is still pretty challenging to be extra light for me. And I'll just go ahead and outright tell you, I don't have very good grip strength. My grip strength is pretty weak. So if you're still kind of recovering that grip strength, you may want to start off with a lighter resistance first. Therapy tool number 3, stress balls. Now you may notice that these look different than kind of a traditional stress ball that you may have been given by an employer at some point for some company-wide promotion. These are actually resistive stress balls. So I ordered this pack of 3 for around $8 to $9. I will leave a link in the description below to these. Yellow is the light resistance, this orangey red is medium, and then the blue is the firm resistance. But I love these because you can do a lot of different things with these, and I'm gonna show you with this light one. So of course you can go with the traditional grip strengthening where you're kind of just making a fist around the ball and squeezing it. You can do sort of a claw fist motion as well to hit up some of those different muscles. If I'm working on certain types of pinches, I might put it here, here. If I'm working on finger strengthening, I might put it in between my fingers, each finger, and try to squeeze. Now that's really hard to do with something like this. The nice thing is too, because they come in these sets with different resistance levels, As one starts getting easier for you, like say this light resistance is just too easy, step it on up to that medium. See how that feels for you. And if that's still too easy, guess what? You have one to go up on. So you can do a lot of things with these grip strengthening, pinch strengthening, isolated finger exercises as well, which can come in really handy. Plus, they look really cool. And if you have any kids in the household, they might get a kick out of them too. Therapy tool number 4, Gait Belt. Yeah, just as the name implies, this is typically used for gait, for when you're up and walking around or transferring from sitting to standing. They can actually be used as a really great stretching tool and a great exercise tool. One of my favorite ways to use these is to actually tighten it up and make a little loop. This can make it easier to hold on to, especially if one side of your body is still having trouble moving. So what you can do is kind of loop it around and get it stuck, just like this. And I'm gonna show you right up here, but you'd likely be doing this with your foot on the ground. You can take this, sling it around the top of your foot, and give yourself a really excellent stretch here. A nice hamstring stretch, calf stretch. Now, another way you can use this is actually in rehab exercises. So one of the things that I really like to do with this is work on shoulder internal and external rotation. So I'm gonna sling this around my back, and I am trying to work on shoulder internal rotation. What I might do is try to bring that arm back, and I'm gonna turn around so you can see here. Excuse my mic pack. But what you might try to do is reach around and try to hold onto that gait belt. Now you can make this a little bit harder by the placement of that gait belt. So maybe you want to raise that up and make it a little more challenging for yourself. So that way you'd have to kind of climb up your back and try to touch that gait belt, and maybe you even try pulling it down as a part of your exercise. Therapy tool number 5, pedal exerciser. You may have seen this before, again, if you had to stay in some type of rehab facility after your stroke. But you can get these for around $25 to $35 on Amazon. I got this one used for around $25, and it's in great shape. This is something really great for those evenings that you may be sitting in front of the TV, you're tired, you don't necessarily feel like doing a ton, but you have a little energy to give to something. And what's really great about these pedal exercisers is that you can actually use them with your hands or with your feet. So, if you're sitting up, you have this on a table in front of you, maybe you are trying to work on elbow extension. You need to get far enough away to promote that extended elbow. And then you can just start pedaling. Get that elbow as straight as you can, push it out. And the nice thing about this too is this little piece here determines the resistance. And you can screw it down a little further to increase the resistance, make it a little harder to push, or you can lighten it up if that's too much to give you a little less resistance. But it's a really good way to get in extra repetitions if you're just sitting watching TV. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't want this to replace all of your other therapy. You can't just swap this out and only do this, because we know from what we understand about neuroplasticity, it's really important to do things that are important to us, to be really engaged in those things in order for our brain to make changes. But this can be, kind of a nice extra to add on to your therapy routine to really get in some good extra repetitions and increase the consistency in your day-to-day routine. Therapy tool number 6, balance pad. So balance pads are a really great way to challenge stability, proprioception, and balance at home. Now this one I got used for $18, just some off-brand. They do have other brand names that you can get that are significantly more expensive. The wider ones are going to be more expensive as well. But like I said, I bought this one used. It was $18. I've tried it out. I really like it, no bad things to say. Again, link will be in the description below for everything I'm showing you today. But I really like balance pads because it gives you a good way to really challenge a lot of different muscle groups. When you're standing on it, because it is kind of this malleable, soft, kind of spongy surface, we take away stability when we don't have something firm to stand on. So the small muscles in our foot, around our ankles, our leg muscles, and even our core all become engaged in trying to keep us upright, to try to keep us stable when we're placed on something that is not stable. So you do get a lot of bang for your buck. Some exercises that I've shown before in different workout routines, like my weight shifting routine that I just put up last week, you can actually practice something like that on the balance pad at home, maybe standing in front of the kitchen counter, shifting weight from side to side. For an increased challenge as well, you can do squats, you can practice lunging, you can practice a lot of different exercises on a balance pad to give you more of a challenge and really help to improve the strength and control in your leg muscles, in your core muscles, and at a really inexpensive price. All right, everyone, that's it for today. Leave me a comment down below if, one, you would like to see a workout routine with some of that equipment I shared with you today, and two, if you have any suggestions on cheap and effective rehab equipment that you've used in your own recovery. And as always, I'm going to leave a link down below if you'd like to sign up for the email list, which gets you free stroke recovery tips and motivational emails every week, as well as a free copy of my ebook, The Stroke Recovery Pocket Guide. And if you find value in what we do here at Post Stroke and you're able, please consider donating, either by giving a super thanks by clicking the button down below in YouTube, by donating once via PayPal, or by becoming a Patreon member, where in exchange for a monthly donation, you get access to cool perks like social media shoutouts, behind the scenes footage, and even YouTube shoutouts, of which I have one today. Thank you so much to Doug C. for continuing to contribute at the Empowerer level. We can't do what we do without you. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.